You didn't come across this message by chance. The hand of the Most High has guided you to this exact moment, at this precise time. This is no coincidence, it's divine timing, orchestrated perfectly for you. For weeks now, signs have been stirring all around you, whispering truths that have remained hidden, and now those truths are rising to the surface. There's someone in your life, perhaps closer than you think, who has carried a burden in silence. He walks through the world with a steady face, offering polite words, performing his daily routines, but beneath the surface, the storm has been gathering. The truth trembles, and soon what was concealed will be exposed. The consequences will unfold in ways no one can stop. The ripple effect of this moment will stretch far beyond what you can imagine. But hear me now, this is not a message of fear. It is a message of preparation. As it is written, "For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open." Luke 8:17. Heaven does not allow the truth to fall without first warning those chosen to see it. If you've felt unrest in your spirit, if you've sensed tension you couldn't name, know this: it is the Holy Spirit whispering to you. Those sleepless nights, those repeated moments you couldn't explain, those were not coincidences. They were spiritual discernment, a stirring deep within you that you cannot ignore. The fire inside you is real, and now the voice of heaven calls you to be alert. Stay awake, pay attention. What is coming will change not just one life, but many. You have been chosen for this. You are called to witness, to understand, and to walk in clarity, not confusion. This moment is not just about you, it is about the divine purpose unfolding in your life, a purpose that will ripple through the lives of those around you in ways you cannot yet fully comprehend. You are standing at the precipice of a shift, and it's time to step forward. Now is your moment. Take a breath, embrace the path laid before you. If you feel this truth stirring within you, let it resonate deeply, and know that you are not alone. The divine is guiding you every step of the way. If this message has spoken to you, I invite you to comment 777 below as a declaration of faith and a step into the sacred chain that unites us all in this moment. The divine is at work in you, and through you, miracles are unfolding. Let this be a mark of your participation in His plan, your trust in His timing, and your commitment to walk this journey with clarity and purpose. Chosen one, there are moments in life where everything you've experienced, every burden you've carried, every tear you've shed, all converge into one powerful moment of divine clarity. Right now, you stand at the threshold of something much bigger than yourself. The weight you've been carrying is not by accident. It was never meant to crush you. It was meant to prepare you, refine you, and position you for what is coming. Heaven has watched your every step, seen the pain, and felt the weight in your heart. But now, the time has come for you to understand the reason behind every challenge you've faced. You are about to witness the unveiling of something so profound that it will change the course of your journey forever. Just as the prophet Elijah stood on the mountain and saw the glory of God pass by, so too you are about to witness the hand of God move in your life in ways that you have not yet fully imagined. There was a force, a presence, a person that clouded your path for far too long, hiding the clarity you so desperately needed. You've questioned why they were allowed to remain so close, why their deceit lingered while you felt trapped, bound by invisible chains. It was never about their power over you. It was about God's protection and His divine timing. As it is written, "For nothing is hidden that will not be disclosed, nor is anything concealed that will not be made known and brought to light." Luke 8:17. Heaven has allowed this time of testing, but now the curtain is being pulled back, and what was once hidden is being exposed. This moment is not just a revelation, it is the start of something new, something sacred. What you couldn't understand before will now make perfect sense. The pieces of the puzzle are falling into place, and what once felt like confusion will soon reveal its purpose. Your path has always been lined with divine protection, and God has shielded you even when you couldn't see it. You were not abandoned, you were being positioned. Just like the story of Job, who endured trials without understanding their purpose, you too have walked through fire, not to be consumed, but to be refined, to be made ready for the next step in your journey. And now, as it is written, "Behold, I am doing a new thing, now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" Isaiah 43:19. What once seemed like an ending is actually the beginning of something far greater than you've ever imagined. The weight you've carried is being lifted, the confusion is clearing, and the burden is about to break free from your shoulders. This is not the end, it is the beginning of your divine reordering. The space that has been cleared is making way for what God has promised you. You are being elevated to a place where peace will be your foundation, where joy will flow naturally, and where clarity will reign. This is your time. The moments of silence, of waiting, of wondering, were not in vain. Heaven has been orchestrating every detail, and now you stand ready to receive. Trust in this process. Do not rush, do not force, but rest in the truth that your breakthrough is already unfolding. As you step into this new season, know that you are not alone. The hand of God is upon you, and His protection is unwavering. You do not need to understand everything now. The clarity will come, the pieces will fall into place, and you will see the full picture in His perfect time. This is your moment of release. Step forward with faith, knowing that God is with you, guiding you every step of the way. Chosen one, this moment is more than just about receiving divine insight. It is about how you carry it, how you walk with the clarity that has been entrusted to you. Understand this. Revelation that is not followed by action can easily turn into frustration, and God has not revealed the truth to you simply to stir your emotions or leave you in wonder. No, this moment, this divine unveiling, has come to position you for what is next. Heaven has not just given you clarity for the sake of clarity. It is a sign, a divine signal that you are no longer walking in the dark. You are being asked to move forward as one who now sees the path clearly, even when that path seems difficult. It is time for you to take action, to move with purpose, to walk with confidence, knowing that the ground beneath your feet is holy, even when it is hard to walk on. You are being asked to trust in the wisdom you now hold and not to shrink back from it. It begins with your words, beloved. In seasons of spiritual unveiling, silence is not emptiness. Silence is obedience. There is sacred power in holding your tongue, in withholding your voice until the Spirit gives you permission to speak. Think about Mary, the mother of Jesus. When the angel Gabriel appeared to her with an unthinkable prophecy, Scripture says, "But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart." Luke 2:19. She did not rush to explain herself or announce the news to the world. She held it quietly and reverently. That is the posture you are being called into now. Speak when moved by peace, not pressure. Let truth rise in its time, unshaken, unforced. Trust in the power of divine timing. And as you listen, examine the people who are around you. You may notice familiar faces, but their presence may no longer be aligned with where God is taking you. Not every relationship is evil. Some have simply run their course. Just as Jonah, when he was on the ship to Tarshish, caused the storm to rage around him, his disobedience brought chaos to everyone on that ship, not because they sinned, but because they were carrying someone who wasn't in alignment with the divine will. Only when they cast Jonah into the sea did the storm calm. Jonah 1:15. You see, sometimes peace doesn't come through prayer alone. Sometimes peace comes through release. It is time to release what needs to be released. Then, take care of your environment. This isn't just about cleaning your physical space. It's about cleansing your spiritual space. Remove the things that have been weighing you down, the things that still carry the residue of confusion, heartbreak, or compromise. Don't destroy these things out of anger, just quietly remove them. You don't need to make a statement. Your actions speak louder than any performance could. You are not dishonoring your past. You are simply preparing yourself for what's ahead. As God instructed Israel before they entered the promised land, consecrate yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you. Joshua 3-5. Clean space invites holy movement. Stillness is your secret weapon now. God is training you to hear Him not just in the fire or the earthquake, but in the whisper. Remember when Elijah fled to the cave, feeling desperate, seeking direction. He didn't find God in the wind, nor in the earthquake, nor in the fire. But in the stillness, he heard a whisper, 1 Kings 19:12. That whisper changed everything, and so it is with you. In your stillness, ask yourself, God, what are you showing me today? Trust that sometimes the answer will come through peace itself, or it will come through discomfort that refuses to be ignored. Your body, beloved, is also a messenger. The weariness you feel is not weakness. It is residue from carrying what was never meant to stay. Your shoulders have held up burdens far longer than they were meant to. Heaven is not calling you lazy for needing rest. It is calling you into restoration. Drink water, not just for hydration, but as an act of stewardship over the vessel God has entrusted to you. Step outside, let the sunlight touch your skin, and remember that even the sun rises without striving. As Psalm 23 says, He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. This is the restoration that is now upon you. Finally, hear this with tenderness but clarity. It is not your assignment to save everyone. You cannot outrun someone else's consequences. You cannot stand in the way of what God needs to teach someone else. Even Jesus, with all power in His hands, did not stop Judas from walking away. He loved him, called him friend, but He let him go. Compassion without boundaries becomes codependency. You are not turning your back by stepping back. You are aligning yourself with God's order. In this moment, trust the release. God is making space for the new, for your healing, for your growth, for the divine work He is about to do in your life. Chosen one, hear this now, because you are standing at the precipice of something far greater than you have yet realized. This moment, this divine moment, is not just a passing occurrence in your life. It is a moment of destiny, one that has been carefully orchestrated by heaven itself. You have been brought to this place for a reason, chosen not by coincidence but by divine design. As you stand here, with clarity now beginning to unfold in your spirit, understand that what you're about to witness is nothing short of a divine revelation. The chaos, the confusion, the trials you've endured, none of it has been in vain. In fact, everything that has seemed to hold you back, every shadow that has loomed over your path, is now beginning to shift, to clear, and to make way for what God is about to bring forth in your life. You are being positioned for breakthrough, not in the way the world might imagine, but in the way that only heaven can reveal. Just as God moved in the life of Esther, who found herself in the king's court at a time of great uncertainty, so too you are positioned for such a time as this. You were not brought to this place to explain everything, nor to understand every detail. No, you have been brought here to witness the turning of a page, to see what God has been preparing in the unseen. Heaven has been at work even when you didn't see it, even when the struggle seemed endless. You may have wondered why it seemed like things were delayed, why the pieces weren't falling into place. But know this, everything that has happened has been for your protection. God has been holding you, shielding you, even when you didn't realize it. And now, as His plans unfold, you are being asked to trust in the timing. As it is written, "For such a time as this," Esther 4:14, you are not just standing on the edge of your breakthrough, you are stepping into it, with heaven's guidance leading the way. You see, there have been forces, both seen and unseen, that have sought to manipulate, to control, and to deceive. People have positioned themselves close to you, their true intentions masked by smiles and promises. But heaven has not been blind to what was happening in the dark. The time has come for what has been hidden to be revealed. The man you've known, perhaps trusted, or even loved, has been at the center of this plot, whether he realized it or not. But his actions, his choices, are now being exposed. As it is written, "For the Lord sees not as man sees. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart." 1 Samuel 16:7. God sees the truth that lies within, and He is allowing that truth to come into the light, not for destruction, but for release. This is not just about the exposure of one person's wrongdoings. This is about the dismantling of a plan that was meant to hold you back, to block your progress, to confuse you, and keep you from walking in the fullness of your calling. God has been working in the background, in the spiritual realm, to untangle what was once knotted, to expose the lies that have held you captive. And now, this divine exposure is the beginning of your liberation. The chains that once kept you bound in confusion, in fear, and in doubt are being broken, not because of your strength, but because heaven has said, "Enough." Just like Elisha's servant, who once feared the enemy armies surrounding them, but when his eyes were opened, he saw the heavenly hosts standing guard. 2 Kings 6:17. You too are being given vision to see what is truly at work. What you've perceived as delay, as struggle, as frustration, is actually the divine protection and the positioning of heaven to ensure you step into your next season without any lingering obstacles. The people around you, those whose presence felt like a weight, those whose intentions were unclear, are now being removed not as a punishment, but as a necessary clearing. You were never meant to carry the weight of their choices, their deceit, or their manipulation. You were meant to walk freely in the light of God's truth, to step into the fullness of your calling without the burdens of others holding you back. The removal of these distractions, these forces of chaos, is God's grace at work. It is the preparation for something greater, something holy, something divinely ordained. This is your moment of release. The exposure is not meant to harm you. It is meant to set you free. Trust in what is unfolding. Trust in the process. What is being revealed is not a setback. It is the catalyst for your next level of growth, of clarity, and of peace. Heaven is moving, and you are a part of this divine shift. Hold fast to your peace. Be still, for this is only the beginning of what is to come. The divine plan is being revealed, and you, chosen one, are at the center of it. Chosen one, I need you to listen closely now, because this moment, this very moment, is not a random occurrence. It is heaven confirming what you've sensed deep within your spirit, what you've known but couldn't fully put into words. This is not chaos, not confusion. This is divine correction. Heaven is resetting the spiritual balance, breaking down what has been hidden, and exposing what once held power through secrecy. This is a sacred unraveling, and you are at the center of it. You are not just watching this unfold, you are walking through it because you were meant to. You were meant to know, meant to understand, and most importantly, meant to be part of this divine shift. What once seemed impossible, what once felt too heavy to bear, is now being lifted. The chains of confusion, of manipulation, of misunderstanding are breaking. Heaven is stepping in, and you are being freed not just from a situation, but from a cycle, from relationships that drained you, from voices that twisted your value, from systems that kept you bound in confusion. It is time for you to step into the clarity that has been prepared for you, to see with new eyes, to understand with a new heart. As it is written, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. You are walking into that truth now. The freedom you've longed for is already within your reach. You felt the stirrings in your spirit long before the words were spoken, long before the situation escalated. Something inside of you has been sensing the changes, sensing the shift that no one else saw. You felt the heaviness in the air, the unease in your soul, the whispers of something not right in the smiles of those around you. You weren't imagining it. Your spirit was discerning what your eyes couldn't yet confirm. The truth was hidden beneath the surface, but now it is coming to light. The lies are cracking, the pressure is rising, and God is lifting the veil. The man at the center of this unraveling may have appeared steady, but he has been marked, flawed, and chosen. His silence now speaks louder than words. And just like Samson, who once lost his strength because he laid his head in the wrong lap, this man's journey has brought him to a crossroads where the consequences of his choices are now unraveling. The woman behind this plot has been operating in the shadows, dressed in innocence, but her motives have always been to control, to manipulate, and to deceive. She has learned to wear grace like a costume, but God is not fooled by appearances. Just as Delilah lured Samson into vulnerability, she has been weaving her web, using kindness to gain access to secrets. And once those secrets were in her hands, she began to build the trap. Her performance of humility has been nothing but a facade. But now, heaven is moving swiftly to expose her. As it is written, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness." Isaiah 5:20. Heaven is not just exposing the lies. Heaven is protecting what is sacred. God is dismantling this plot not for embarrassment, but for justice. This is a divine reckoning, and you, chosen one, are part of it. Your prayers, your silence, your discernment, your very presence have played a role in bringing this moment into reality. Do not dismiss the unease you felt, the tension in your spirit, for that was heaven's whisper. That was the divine alarm sounding, preparing you for what is coming. Your role matters more than you realize, and the path ahead will not only bring justice but also healing, restoration, and a future beyond anything you've imagined. This is the moment of release. You are part of God's plan for this divine exposure, and it's time to step forward, knowing that what you've been called to do matters more than ever before. Chosen one, the moment you are in is not by chance, and what you're witnessing now is not random. The quiet tension, the shifting of the unseen, is heaven's way of preparing you for what's to come. The things that were once hidden in silence are now growing louder, rising to the surface. The truth is beginning to unfold, and heaven is making sure you see it. The time of darkness is ending, and as it is written, there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. Matthew 10:26. Know this, what has been buried will no longer stay buried. The woman who once stood confidently, the one who thought she could manipulate the situation to her advantage, will now falter. Her alliances, which were built on falsehoods, will crumble. The favor she faked will vanish, and the stage she carefully crafted for another's downfall will turn into her own platform of exposure. You might feel the weight of this moment, the rising pressure that you can't quite explain. It's not fear, it's recognition. Your spirit knows the hour is here. You were born for this alignment. You have been positioned for this very unraveling, this moment of exposure that is not just about revealing someone's flaws, but also about revealing your purpose. You've been carefully prepared for what is unfolding, even if it doesn't yet make sense. You are not alone in this. Heaven is already acting, and justice is being delivered, not out of wrath, but in divine righteousness. As it is written, "For his eyes are on the ways of man, and he sees all his steps." Job 34:21. You may have felt the weight of invisible warfare, the tension in the air, the glances, the whispers, the shifting conversations, but heaven sees all. The man who once walked close to you, whose trust you once placed in him, has been walking a path of deception. His smile, his calm demeanor, has been a mask for his true intentions. And now, the Lord is lifting that mask. His deception cannot remain in the shadows any longer. Heaven is pulling back the curtain, exposing what has been hidden for far too long. You may wonder why it took so long, why God didn't act sooner. but divine timing is always perfect. You have been hidden for protection. Your heart has known this truth long before your eyes could confirm it. Now, heaven is at work, and you must hold your ground. This exposure is not meant to destroy, but to deliver. It is God's way of setting you free from what was holding you back, from the lies that tried to steal your peace. The truth is rising, and as it does, you will see what was once unclear. Your prayers, your discernment, your stillness have all prepared you for this. Heaven has been moving quietly behind the scenes, turning the winds in your favor, aligning everything for this divine moment. And now, as the truth unfolds, you will know that this wasn't just a storm. This was your rescue. This is your time, your moment of divine realignment. What God has planned for you cannot be delayed, and though it may not look like you expected, it is exactly what you need. Do not be afraid of the unknown, for you have been chosen to walk in clarity, to witness what heaven has prepared for you. Keep your heart anchored and trust that what is unfolding is not only just, but holy. Your breakthrough is here, and God is moving in your favor. Chosen one, you have been on a journey, a path that may have felt long, uncertain, and at times overwhelming. But know this: nothing about your experiences, your thoughts, your emotions, and your spirit is by chance. Everything you've felt has purpose. The turmoil, the unanswered questions, the doubts, all have led you to this very moment. You are not off track. You are exactly where you need to be. Even when the path seemed unclear, you were being guided. Your journey is unfolding in divine timing, and heaven has been watching over you every step of the way. There is no need to rush or to force things. Trust that what you have been through has prepared you for this season. The weight you've carried, the struggles, the moments of confusion, all have shaped you. And now, in this stillness, let the peace of heaven settle in your heart. You are safe. You are not forgotten. The timing of your life is in perfect alignment with what heaven has for you. Rest in that truth. As you sit in this space, take a moment to simply breathe, allowing the peace of God to wash over you. As you reflect, feel free to share what's in your heart. Whether it's hopes, fears, unanswered questions, or words left unsaid, this is a sacred space. When you write, it's not just a comment, it's an act of surrender, a way of laying it all before God. He sees you. He hears you. He is here with you. Know that, in His perfect timing, He will guide you and lead you to what you need. You are never alone in this journey. The moment you are in now is held safely in the presence and grace of God.